A cleft lip or a cleft palate is a birth defect, where the roof of the mouth or lip isn't fully formed, leaving a gap or space. While rare in the United States, cleft lips and cleft palates occur in about 1 out of 700 births worldwide. Organizations like Rotoplast and Alliance for Smiles send volunteers to many countries performing free surgeries to repair these correctable birth defects. In 2001, a quilt project called Wrap-A-Smile was started here in Maine. Wrap-A-Smile donates beautiful handmade quilts to wrap around every child who receives cleft lip or cleft palate surgery.
I went on my first mission to Cochabamba, Bolivia, and it was a life-changing experience. I saw children that when people arrived, they had towels over their head because of the shame of having a child like this. And the first day of surgery, when I watched them bring these children out of surgery, and it was just a miracle to see that an hour and a half of surgery could make their lip complete, and just the parts are all there, they were just rearranged. But when they'd be carrying them out of surgery, they would be carrying them in these, well, they were sanitary, but they're crinkly and they're just so not full of love, these blankets, to the recovery room. And that was really an impact on me, because I thought what these children have gone through their whole life, and then to come out in this very sterile situation. But what a blessing to have the surgery, because if it hadn't been done for free, they never would have had it.
Yeah, I was at the board of directors meeting for Rotary the night that Bridget was there asking for funds for Rotoplast. And she was describing what goes on these trips and the missions and so forth. And then she said something about the kids being wrapped up in these plastic chucks, these plastic whatevers, little blankets. That's all of the presentation I heard. Because I started thinking, I'm a quilter, and I said, this isn't right for these little kids.
And she started asking questions about why they were wrapped in these crinkly but effective blankets. And I had said because they were pretty much the cleanest thing in the building. And she said, what about quilts? And I'm like, well, we have about 5 operating rooms and maybe 5 OR beds. Yeah, if you can make a couple of quilts, it'd be great.
I said to her, well, now, if you do 90 surgeries, I want to send 90 quilts. I want each child to go home with a quilt. And she looked right at me. You can't do that. And I said, yes, I can. I'm a Rotarian and I'm a redhead, and I can do it. At the time, I was in 3 different quilt groups, and I went to them and I explained what was going on and what I thought would make a great project for each group, and were they interested, and yes, they were. And so that was the start of Wrap-A-Smile. And since then, it has just been growing and growing and growing. And I also belong not only to quilt groups locally, but I belong to a quilt group online now called Sunshine Quilters. And these girls are all over the United States and all over the world. And from this group, I have received quilts from every state in the United States, plus 3 foreign countries.
Each month, Terry and her lovingly called Label Ladies get together to sew the Wrap-A-Smile label onto each quilt received. The quilts are then folded and shipped out, awaiting the next mission to repair cleft lips and cleft palates. Since its inception in 2001, Wrap-A-Smile has collected and distributed over 16,000 quilts, enough quilts to fully cover 5 football fields. 16,000 quilts, 16,000 surgeries, 16,000 new smiles.
To see the look on a mother's face when not only she sees her child for the first time without the broken lip or the cleft lip, and they're wrapped up in the most adorable quilt, and it's clean and it's personal and it's made with love from women and men all over the United States. It's like this beam on their face, and then they expect that they're going to have to hand it back, and it's like, no, this is for you. This is for you and your child.
The doctors would come up to me and they couldn't say enough wonderful things about what these quilts meant, not only to the children, but to the parents. That we were giving them something that it was theirs. It's one of the nicest things some of these families have. and the difference it makes in their recovery, as well as anything else. And when they would come back to the surgical unit a couple of days after surgery, they'd always have their quilts with them. And that just made me feel so good and so special. And I have to let the girls know, the quilters, especially online, it really works.
If you would like to donate a quilt to Wrap a Smile, visit the Wells Rotary website at www.wellsrotary.org and click on Wrap a Smile.
As far as where the program's going to go, I'm amazed it's still going today. But it's like, when do you stop cleft lip, cleft palate? How do you stop a quilter from quilting? The quilters enjoy the process of quilting. And when they have a place for them to go, and they know they're going to get there, they're going to continue to quilt.